first thing I want to say is that it's a privilege to be here. And I came here because I was asked to come here and because I'm interested in this. I hear lots of people saying that, provincial Ireland is dying. They should be here to see this. This is the start of a real fight back here from Moate. Very happy about that. Now, I'd like to say a few words about how these things can impact on you. I'm glad to see all the children here, because this is about the future. We're in a world where you have, on the one hand, people have an exceptional interest in fitness and good health, and rightly so, and others drift into obesity. So these children are going to grow up in a world that's very different from the adults and from our forefathers, very different. So this opportunity here is about growing with the community along the route. The power lies with the communities. Now I know that Paul spoke about the people who cleared this way from Athlone to Mullingar years ago, and they did. They did the same from Achill to Westport, through different ground. And that station, over 100 miles west of here, they used to pick the carrageen moss on the rocks, or send the shellfish on the train to Westport, to Dublin, by ferry to Billingsgate in London. Those fish and those products were sold and the money sent back to people well over 100 years ago. And for 90 years, that line in the west lay desolate. Bridges falling down, overgrown, bits and pieces built on and so on like that. And 127 farmers said, what can we do with this? And the first thing is, you have to have agreement and the consensus of the people. Would you like to open the line? Would you like to develop the line? What can we do with it? So the Greenway was formed and the Greenway was born. And the example is that it's now worth about 6 million every year between national spend and international spend to the community down there. Coffee shops, little bakeries, mechanics, drivers, vans, hotels, everything. You'll find the same here. When this is on your website and being broadcast abroad, you'll have the people coming to stay in the B&Bs and the Airbnbs and the hotels, and they'll fit in with this as part of their experience of coming to Ireland here. And that's the real thing. Those of you who have been away in Spain and Italy and France and other countries for many years, go away for your sunshine holiday or whatever. Can you think of any of them 20 years ago? It's the impact that the people make on you that makes a difference. And I'm quite sure that here in Westmeath, a county which I understand gave us the 3 O'Sheas to play football for Mayo. If they'd been playing for Gary Castle or for Westmeath, you might have won that Leinster title a couple of years ago. In any event, the importance is that the people make the difference. Now, Pat and Paul and public reps, you couldn't get this unless you had the full buy-in from the people. And while the state puts up money for these things as an assistance, that's all it is. It is not the state coming in and saying, there you are, take that. This has come from you. The line was here. Use it. Outdoor pursuits, outdoor activities, and now you've got this fabulous line coming up and down here. And that's part of what Moate can do. I'll bet you, your enterprise office now is getting applications and interest being expressed by people. Say, do you think I could do something to fit in with this numbers of people who are passing by? Because I tell you, in 5-10 years, this will be a throbbing, moving entity with people from all over the world who want to come here. Because I've said, what we need is a national strategy for the lines, for the canal paths, for the woodland walks, for the creature walks, for the mountain trails, so that our island, north and south, small island, can become a world example of how you can have vigorous, enthusiastic, active holidays that you will remember for the right reasons. The man on Clare Island who started off having people jump into pools that have been there for millions of years, with people to pull them out, people who are terrified of jumping 5 feet into water, suddenly have an experience that they've never had before, which is perfectly safe and gives them a memory that they want to come back and talk about. And the same applies here, on your bike, with the buggy, the little buggies behind the bicycles, families. Isn't that what it's about? That everybody's looking at their iPhone or their iPad or communicate. Silence in the houses. It's a great thing that the families can get together and travel from Athlone to Mullingar or whatever, through Streamstown and Castlegagan and Moate and so on like that. And that makes the difference because it's a memory. And in a world that's moving so fast, that's very important, that you know where you're from. you know where your community is, you know who they are, and that makes an impact on children growing up, and gives them that sense of character. So I think that what you've done here, and I commend everybody for their part in this, is you have now created a community that's thriving. And that community will come forward with ideas, and you will find, Pat, you'll find new applications coming in before you for things that people can say, I want this to happen. We're down the road in Ballymahan, Centre Parks, going to spend 100 million or more on putting that together. And that application will be in for full planning commission in the next 2 weeks. 92% of their people will travel. You'll find them flying into Knock, flying into Dublin, and travelling through here, and this will be part of their adventure, part of their holiday experience. It's all there to play for. So, we're going to play now in a few minutes against Argentina. And it means that Ireland are going to have to take on the All Blacks, South Africa and Australia, because when we beat Argentina, we'll be the only European country left in this competition. So I had a chat with the lads and the girls here, Gabrielle and James and Robert and Willie. That's 4 that we know. There'll be a lot more standing. They're all in good form at the moment. I'm dying to see what they're going to be like next spring when the white flag is raised. And just as a little precursor of that, I've said to them, you need to get into shape for this, because you can't conduct a campaign unless you're in good form and good shape. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to take a Saturday morning, not too far away, and I'm going to cycle from Mullingar to Athlone through Moate here. And we're going to stop here with for a cup of coffee or whatever else. And I am going to have those 4 people with me. It's an ecumenical thing. So what you need to do is get about 100, 200, 500 men, women, children. Throw a tenner apiece into a local charity, and there you go, whatever you want to do yourselves. I'll leave Mullingar, Athlone, or Mullingar, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll cycle down the 40k down to Athlone, and I'll have Robert Troy, Willie Penrose, going to lose another stone and a half. James Bannon and Gabrielle is going to be out in front with the white flag. And anybody else who wants to join in, they can. And I commend you, school down there, won the choir last year for the national event. All those bicycles, do a deal, well done. Well done. The children and the young people, learning about road safety and all that. It's not just about that. They're pedaling, they're getting into shape. Mentally it's very good for you. You understand things. So that's all part of it. And to the band down here, 50 years, well done. Thank you for the music. Enjoy that. Thank you, Chief Superintendent, Superintendent Sergeants. You've had a very, very hard week with the loss of a member in Blackrock and in Moate, and we sympathise and understand that on a day like this. So my privilege to be here. All these people, hundreds of you. You can all tell stories about this. But all my interest is in the future. Learn from the past, learn from the future. Tell you, here's the big prize for the country. Whatever choice the people make is their own choice. By 2018, if we continue on the path we're on, we wanted to borrow to run our country at all. And that means that whatever government is in office is going to have a lot more money to spend on things like this. And I'd like to see, 100 million put up over 10 years nationally, so that we can complete the one from Glenba and Kerry, out over the hill there, down to Carsavine and out to Renard Point. Absolutely fabulous scenery over Dingle Bay. From Uachtaráin to Clifton, the old railway line. The West Clare line from Ennis out to Ballymcguigan. Eventually from Donegal up through Barnesmore Gap, up to Letterkenny and off to Derry. Think of the opportunities. It cannot happen unless people agree, unless they want it to happen. So every community now has the opportunity to do what this community is doing. Think, where do we want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What would we like to do with our community? Because the state can only assist you in that. That's your challenge. You started well. A bit of a big picture here. This is a wonderful day. God gave us a day that's dry. And I'm going to leave you now and go down to Buccaneers and take on Argentina and beat them. Paul O'Connelly's in the dressing room, and we'll all be in the dressing room down there shortly. Thank you all. My privilege to be here. Come on, Ireland. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.